And welcome back to Total Geek Live. We are doing trailer trash, and as with me always, I've got Kaiser.
What's up?
Danny, and Guy.
Hello.
And today we are going to be trailer trashing The Gifted, coming this year on Fox on TV. So, very excited about this, so let's get started, guys.
Oh, you want to go right into it, don't you?
I do. I cannot wait.
All right.
Okay.
I got it pulled up and starting it now.
I read your file. You're a very troubled young woman. Believe it or not, I'm here to help you.
You know, when you put your hand out of the window of a moving car, you can feel the air and guide it. I can push the air together, water too, other stuff. Who taught you how to swim?
You.
I can teach you this.
Dude.
Thank you for meeting with us.
Of course. I understand you have some concerns about your son.
Andy and I have always been very close, but we believe he's being bullied.
Hey, look who's here.
So what's the verdict this time? Am I stupid or crazy?
Good evening. Hear about Andrew and Lauren. You're aware that there was a bit of an incident at the school this evening?
Let me go!
I need you to go get them for me.
They're not going anywhere.
We have to secure the safety of the community.
What is that?
Hurry, come on!
Hear about the mutant incident? Those are my kids.
We have to help them.
Why didn't you tell me?
You have powers.
Dad puts people like us in jail.
In my experience, things change when it's your own kid.
There is nothing more important to me than my family.
The X-Men, the Brotherhood, we don't even know if they exist anymore.
I suggest you think about what's best for your family.
What do we do?
It's gonna be all right.
Come on!
Go now!
This is a burden, yes, but it's also a gift.
Tell me about Lorna. Any information I have is yours. But only if my family is safe.
Mr. X-Men, I'm just dying to know what you think, because you are the biggest X-Men guy that I know.
Exactly.
Yeah,
this is your thing.
So
I am super duper all in down for this. I have had mixed reactions to the X Universe film-wise, partially because I don't think they can tell the real story within like an hour and a half, 2 hour setting.
Right.
Especially when they try to cram 3 or 4 different storylines into one movie. You're like, why do that?
right.
But the X-Men characters and the stories make sense for a TV series. You have a lot more time to tell the story. You have a lot more characters you can bring in to kind of, tell the story that you want to tell and give more depth to characters that you only get to very, cameo basically into the films. But this has had a very interesting road to production. Fox has held the live action movie rights for many years, and now there has been, in the last 2 years, I think they had some sort of restructuring of the deal, which allows them to create live action TV shows with Marvel okaying, I guess, the projects. And there have been 2, this one and Legion. And this one was originally going to be a different title altogether, but they've restructured it, or reformed it, and created this show in its stead. and I am really thrilled about it. I love the characters that they're using for it, even if they're switching them and molding them into in name only characters. You have the two children in the film or in the series, the Strucker kids.
And let me take Natalie Ellen Lind. I apologize for confusing you with Hit Girl.
Yes, she was on the Goldberg.
I know she was his girlfriend.
Adam's girlfriend.
Yeah,
Dana. Yeah.
I feel an egg on my face. I am so sorry, Natalie. Please forgive me. I wish you all the best in this amazing looking series.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now that I've got that off my chest, please go on.
So in the comics, the Strucker twins are twins in the comics, and they're bad mamba jambas.
Like they're not good, or
they're
just
not
powerful?
Good.
Oh, okay.
They're evil.
Evil.
And I think it's kind of curious that they actually stuck with the Strucker name. They could have done any sort of name, but the Strucker name has a very long history connection to the Marvel universe. Pretty bad one at that.
Say it. Go ahead.
With a name like Struckers. Sorry. I wasn't going to say it.
It was all over your face. You had Struckers all over your face.
I'm sorry. Is it gone? Okay, go on, please.
But in this one, they each have different powers. One, the girl can do some sort of offensive and defensive shield creation. Mm-hmm. And the boys' powers are a little more ambiguous. They haven't really stated them, but it seems very telekinetic or charged with emotions or something. But one of the characters that I'm super freaking thrilled at and I'm just like over the moon to get is Polaris, who is in the comics the daughter of Magneto. Has same powers as her daddy.
How many children does Magneto have? If Quicksilver and...
Yeah, it depends. They've kind of taken that away from him.
They took away his children?
They took away Witch and Quicksilver in the comics.
Yeah, man. Yeah. DPS came in and, hey, you're a bad mutant, so your kids gotta come with us.
Yeah. But, I'm really thrilled to see Polaris in this. I'm going to be just excited to have the character in it. She's really cool. The character of Thunderbird, John Proudstar's in this, which is interesting to note. His brother, James, was in Days of Future Past as Warpath.
Nice.
And
so the actor's brother was in...
No. The characters.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I was following you here.
Yeah. No, the character's brother is now in this series. And interesting to note, Thunderbird is the very first X-Man to die in a comic. On the very first mission of the all different X-Men. Mm-hmm. That's kind of a sad distinction to hold. Right. But I'm really kind of cool that we get to see him in the series. They're bringing in a new Blink. So also from Days of Future Past, they're bringing in character Blink. So that's kind of exciting. They made a new...
When you say all new, is a new actress playing?
Yeah, it's a new actress.
Okay.
For Blink. Yeah. And, no real relation, allegedly, to the Days of Future Past role.
Okay.
And then they created a new character called Eclipse, who seems to be able to, manipulate photons and stuff like that. And so they look pretty cool, pretty exciting. I love superpowers. I love X-Men. So this is kind of really up my alley. I like to see Stephen Moyer and Amy Acker as the parents. They seem to be really interesting characters. So I'm excited to see where they go.
Right, and strong actors that you kind of need to ground with all the youth that's coming in.
Yeah.
I know that when they were getting ready to shoot the pilot, all the Dallas-Fort Worth area was abuzz because the pilot was going to be shot here in Dallas, and they were doing casting calls for some minor roles and extra roles and all of that kind of stuff. And so there was a lot of buzz with that. And it's nice. I mean, I think I've seen in, glimpses of even, the Dallas police cars in some scenes and stuff. But then they took production over to Georgia.
Oh.
And, me as a Texan and everything, I'm so just frustrated how we cannot keep some of these nice projects here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Well, yeah, because I think the last ongoing series here was the Lone. Oh man, I had it in my head.
No.
It was the buddy cop show with Tom Hanks kid.
Yeah, the two guys or lone guys or whatever. Yeah, Colin Hanks and then somebody, I forget the other guy. I can see his face, but I can't remember. But yeah.
And that was kind of the last of that heyday because there were several series filming here.
Right,
at that
Prison
point.
Break was here for quite a few years. And I'm just, just to see it to go to Georgia because there's so much production going out in Georgia. I mean, I had a friend move. He's a YouTuber and he does a lot of Comic Cons and stuff too. But I mean, he purposely moved out just about 6 months ago out to Georgia, Atlanta, because that's where a lot of the gigs are. That's where he can really develop because he wants to do a lot of behind the scenes and in front of the scenes if he can combine and kind of cover all the bases. And I mean, the work is out there, so why not follow it? And I mean, that's what it just stinks that they couldn't do it here.
Talk to your legislators. Come on, Texas legislation.
I know.
You're missing out on so much potential.
They they had a really great incentives package. And for the video games as well, they include video games in that whole package. They used to have some really great deals. They've kind of backed off of it the past few years. Although, like, they did the Gifted here, the pilot. I believe they shot Preacher season 2. They shot some of that in Dallas.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah. Because I have a friend of mine that does script stuff, I think, was talking about it. But Dallas. I mean, they built the whole Las Colinas facilities, to facilitate the film industry growth here, and it's a ghost town. It's industrials mostly.
And Atlanta is so incentive friendly right now. And they've been very Marvel production friendly. They've been doing a lot of Marvel productions over there. So it's unfortunate that it was taken away from the Dallas area, but you can kind of see why, especially with that over there. It's just one of those things. It's interesting though. Since you're our resident X guy, B, this is set within the current film continuity. Yes.
Yeah. So they're lightly connecting it to the universe. They're not kind of making it as connected as say Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is with the movies. But there are nods to it. And their kind of thought is Days of Future Past really fragmented the stream, the time stream. So in this one, where it is in the same timeline or time stream as Legion, but later on.
Okay.
So that's how they're kind of connecting it to the whole.
Okay.
Because they made the illusion they're not even sure if the X-Men are still even around anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So it's kind of interesting. So it's allegedly taking place between Legion and Logan. That's their kind of.
That's a pretty big window too. So.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
So would this essentially be a version of New Mutants, or do you think they're going to go pure, full-on New Mutants as we go down the line?
Well, they have a movie, New Mutants, coming out. Shooting it now, so but it'll be interesting. I think one of the other interesting things is the pilot or the trailer seems to infer that the father character works for the Sentinel Services,
right?
Okay,
and is tracking down bad mutants or mutants in general,
right?
And now his children are mutants, are the ones he's supposed to be tracking down. So I think there's going to be an interesting, very, conflict going on there. Does he do his job? Does he save his family?
So what does it have to do with like the Brotherhood No More?
We'll have to find out. Yeah, because we don't know where the X-Men or the Brotherhood are at this point. If they exist, Guy was talking about, they are in somewhere between Legion and Logan, but we don't know, and what kind of form the X-Men took. It could be, the 05, or it could be the cinematic version of the X-Men. We don't know how they really exist or existed.
But with Bryan Singer this heavily involved, actually taking on the directing duties of the first episode, do you think he'll pull the strings to cross cinematics with the TV?
I don't know. I mean, he certainly has enough pull. I mean, he's been in bed with the X-Men since '99, so he's certainly can do what he wants. They seem to trust him enough to, let him play in the sandbox for however long he likes.
Right.
To varying degrees of success, I should say. But
when you've been doing it as long as he has, you're gonna have hits and misses. I mean, no one makes
Right.
Yeah.
So I'd say he's actually got a really good track record.
Of course, yeah. I mean, there's yeah. But
how heavily involved is he in Legion? Because I see his name as like executive producer or something.
I think it's just in name.
Okay, just because he's attached to X-Men, so therefore they have to mention his name.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay. And then how far is his commitment with this? He only directed the pilot episode. Right. But is he producer level or executive producer level on this?
EP level on it. And there's only 10 episodes for the first season, which I think is actually smart on their part, to keep the cost down so they can spend more money on the special effects, which they need.
It looks great.
And it does. You're right. It does look really good. And then secondly, it allows them to keep the story expansive, but also rich with character beats and moments, and really explore how they need to be developed over the series.
Right.
Wouldn't be surprised if you see more X-related teases come episode 9 or 10 to kind of build up season 2. Okay. And then you also have Stephen Moyer is married to Anna Paquin, who is Rogue.
Oh.
There's that connection.
That would be a fun little cameo.
Wouldn't it be?
Oh yeah. So, as the old adage goes, time is money. So, is your time worth investing in this series? See, I'm pulling it into the trash or cash.
Oh, trash or cash thing. Yeah.
Layers upon layers.
Time is money. You see how I did that? So, I could see from Baltimore's glow and exuberance in talking about this, we have his cash. Or we don't.
All in.
But Fox does. Fox has his cash.
He'll have the T-shirts and the cereals and the underoos and.
Oh yeah.
So
Guy, Guy, what do you think?
I think it's good. As I said, I'm very much an X-Men purist. I always kind of like I like the original 5 and then the all new, all different that came in the 70s. Those are my personal favorites, and they always will be. Bryan Singer helming the first episode is certainly a good sign for me, and I'm willing to give anything a chance as long as it looks good, and this definitely looks good. It's interesting to see how diverse Fox is trying to get with the X-Men license. Obviously, they want to keep it. I mean, I think they'd make X naked mole rats if it meant they could just keep the license even longer.
How hard to hold on to Fantastic Four? I mean,
they need to drop that one. But I think cash definitely, and I hope that everything works out perfectly for the first episode to get me to want me to come back and see where this goes, both individually and how or even if this is going to fit into the cinematic versions of X-Men, whichever one they're going to use.
Right.
Yeah. What about you, Danny?
What about Danny?
Yeah. I'll definitely check out the pilot episode. Singer being attached, and just the fact that the quality of the production, the special effects, the caliber of the acting that they've enlisted, it's pretty solid. So I'll definitely give it a try, and then we'll go from there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
One quick thing I just popped in my head before we wrap this. Why is it that Fox, being that they're doing so much with the X-Men to hold on to it, and they've got 2 shows, they've got Legion and Gifted, there's no X-Men in the titles? I mean, are they trying to get a broader audience so that people say, oh, it's X-Men, I don't want to tune in?
It may be some kind of agreement that they have with Marvel that
for TV.
Can't necessarily, specifically for TV, maybe they cannot market it as X-Men specifically.
I feel like these are like X-Men adjacent stories or series. And you'll have to remember I believe in the title for Legion, the O is an X.
Yes.
Right. It's subtle. It's in there, but yeah.
It's not there. In Gifted, they're playing in that kind of realm, but not being overt about it. And I feel it's probably maybe a Marvel, maybe more marketing. Don't want to oversaturate, possibly.
I think so, probably.
Just usually, sometimes they go they want to put that brand everywhere. It's like, look, this is that thing you love. You better come watch it.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm actually happy to see they're being more subtle with it. I was it popped in my head as we were doing this.
As a curiosity, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, well, they're really not pushing that heavily within the marketing a whole lot. But anyway, B, you want to take us home?
Yeah. So looks like we're all in on the Gifted, which comes out October 2nd this year. So please, if you like us, comment about it, subscribe, share with your friends, and as always, it's all geek to us. Thanks again, and see you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Throwing up the X.
I got more hands.
Oh, you throwing up the X? Throwing up X's?
Up the X.
I got the X right here.
What?
Ching, ching.
And now it's birds.
And bats. Birds and bats.